Hey
Hey, good
guys,
morning, guys. It's PinePoint Sunday Morning Show.
and the spring has sprung.
It has run. I don't know about you, Zach, but I can barely breathe.
I know.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
Get your tissue, guys. It's
Get the tissues out.
Kleenex, and Zyrtec and Claritin season.
It is, yeah. I think the allergies are certainly in full spring, as we might say.
Yeah, I don't know how funny that really is, Bob, but it's awful.
Yeah, no, I hear you. For those of you that suffer with seasonal allergies, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. The other day, I'm at a showing, and literally, me and the listing agent are standing there, and like, I gotta go get some gum because my mouth is dry because I can't talk because so many allergy meds, and he's
Right,
over here
right.
sneezing and itching his nose, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm glad it's not COVID, Bob, because this is.
Well, yeah, we won't even go there.
I know. I remember those days. It was interesting.
Yeah. Thankfully, that was a little bit before I got involved in real estate. I could just imagine that was some interesting times in real estate for sure.
It was very interesting because I'll always remember the night we went to bed and not knowing if we were going to be able to work the next day.
Yeah,
It's an interesting situation, but
yeah. Hopefully, we don't come across anything like that anytime soon again in our life.
oh, I know. It did some good things, but like I said, it didn't do some great things either. So
Yeah. It definitely set some things behind for sure. To me, the biggest thing is our kids.
Oh yeah, no,
the kids
that was
that way
horrendous.
behind, unfortunately. But anyway, that's a totally different subject.
Yeah, so
Here.
We got some really good information for you guys today. We're going to kind of continue on what we were talking about last week, only we're going to talk about multifamilies.
Multifamilies, yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
I like multifamilies. As a matter of fact, my very first property was a 3-family. Oh, here we go.
Oh, Godzilla's here. Oh, no.
Godzilla shaking things up here. She got to make her appearance. But yeah, my very first apartment building was a 3-family apartment building. Very first property I owned. And I tell you, it was a great opportunity, great learning experience. I mean, the great thing about it was that I lived there absolutely rent-free.
Really?
Absolutely. Let the other apartments pay for my rent.
I tried to. There was a beautiful property on the dead end of Holly Street in Auburn that Kate and I tried to bid on, and we tried everything possible to make that work, and we just couldn't make the numbers work at the time. And it's funny. It's funny. Back then, we were talking under 200,000 still.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it crazy?
I'm going to date myself just a little bit, Zach. My very first 3-family apartment building,
$50
for $38,500.
$38.05.
$38,500.
Oh, okay. I thought you were back in like the colonial days where $38.
But no, early 80s. Yeah.
You didn't dig out a couple pebbles and a stone and a stick to trade?
Yeah. We were able to put it all together and it held.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was great. I mean, I got the 3-family apartment building. Actually, in the next year after that, I invested in a couple other 2-family buildings as well. So it was a great experience.
Nice. No, that's really cool. No, that is. Hey, how long did you own those for?
I owned them for 2 years, and believe it or not, I was able to walk away out of all 3 of them with 20 grand in my pocket each time. So owning for 2 years, that wasn't bad. And like I said, lived absolutely rent free in the 3-family that we owned. So that was even a bigger bonus. So
see, that's the way to go. You know the sayings that you know what they say, right? So a 2-unit will help you pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
Won't pay your mortgage, but it'll help you pay your mortgage. A 3-unit will help you pay your mortgage and your bills.
Yeah.
A 4-unit will actually give you a check.
Yeah.
But that's as much as you can go on a regular residential loan.
Right. So let's talk about that a little bit. What are we usually talking about when we're talking about multifamily properties?
So there's two ways you can go with multifamilies. You've got your 1 through 4 units, or 2 through 4 units, because if it's a one family, obviously it's not a multi-unit, but 2 through 4 units, you can qualify for that with a not a rural development, but you can do a FHA loan, you can do a VA loan, do conventional, even mainstay housing, which is sweet because with mainstay housing, if you tag that onto your FHA, that's $5,000 plus $3,000 for each other unit, up to, I think they have a max of 12. I think the max is 12, isn't it?
So it's actually 14, I believe, on a 4.
14, okay.
Yeah. So but what are you talking about when you're talking about these dollars, Zach?
So if you qualify for mainstay housing, and yeah, they do have some qualifications income-wise. If you make over a certain amount, obviously you don't qualify. But if you do qualify for these, mainstay housing will tag on to an FHA loan or a VA loan and help you with a rate right now of under 6, which is beautiful.
That is good.
Most regular rates are over 6 right now, according to what I'm hearing from my lenders I work with. But with that being said, you can take a first-time homebuyers course with mainstay housing and get a $5,000 grant to start on a regular single family. But then when you go to a 2 unit, it jumps up to $8,000.
Yep.
3 units, $11,000.
Yep.
And then $14,000 being your top, obviously, because once you go past 4 units, now you're talking commercial.
Right. And that can be used towards your closing costs, right, Zach?
Closing costs or down payment.
Or down payment, right.
Or down payment. Yep, either one, which is beautiful. Plus the interest rate alone is well worth it.
Yeah. No, it's a great program. As a matter of fact, that apartment building that I was talking about, being a veteran, I was able to go through VA and then couple it with Main State Housing. So I actually got in with no money down out of my own pocket. So if you're a vet, that's a sweet deal in and of itself.
The only kicker with VA with multi-units I find with lending, like I said, we want to confirm this with a lender, but most time with VA you need 6 months. 6 months of what's that word, Bob? Reserves.
Reserve. There you go.
Reserves.
I wanted to say escrow, but reserve. Yeah,
exactly. That's probably the only downside. But heck, for a VA loan, no PMI. Add that mainstay housing on there, get those bonuses plus a lower rate for this time, the time right now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what you'd put down for down payment, you can go ahead and put for those reserves and still be in good shape.
Yep, but we still run into an issue. Like I said, the prices don't come down. That's the only downside. Let's jump over to the screen. You ready for this, Bob? This is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look and see what some of the multifamilies are doing around the state.
So the median price for the state of Maine for multifamilies is $430,000.
Wow. Okay.
As of April 2025, last month.
Yeah. Now, I know last week when we were looking at the numbers, we were looking at single family properties, and they were at 400,000. So not a huge discrepancy. I'm actually surprised with that.
Yep. So average multifamily in the state of Maine is 430,000. In the month of April, there was only 75 multi-units closed on the whole state. 75. That's not much.
There's not a lot.
The active inventory, yes, it's up 19.5% over March, but we're only 307 units across the state.
Yeah, that's still pretty low.
That is extremely low.
Yeah.
And then new listings coming on. Like I said, 171. That's great. It's replenishing, but it's not replenishing fast enough.
Yeah. So we're still in that situation where we still have that supply and demand issue, where we still don't have enough supply to meet the demand.
Oh yeah, no, we need this 300 number to go up to like a 500 to 600. We need this double. If this number is ever going to come down, this number is going to double or even triple.
Right.
Let's go back to single family just to take a peek really quick. But for single family, see what I mean? There's 3,400 units.
Wow, huge difference as far as the number of units available.
You know, it's crazy. If each of those 300 units was a 4 unit, we'd still have less multifamilies, single family units than we actually full active inventory.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. And again, new listings is up 40%. That's a good sign for pricing. Again, we need that supply to be up there for our pricing to come down, because if there's just too many buyers, that demand's not there.
Yeah. Having said that, though, we are seeing a little bit of the loosening, in the inventory, which is nice. Because I know when I'm actually doing a search for people now, I'm actually coming up with 2 or 3 properties with that I can take a look at rather than being lucky to find one.
Yep. But let's go back to, because today we're talking about multifamily. Let me bring that back there.
Yeah.
So again, like $430,000. Plus side, if you have a 400,000, the plus side to the multifamily sections is, if you have a lower prequal for a single family home, you're definitely going to be able to qualify for more money with a multifamily, because they're going to be able to take those other units into account and add 75% of that income to your income, which makes your debt to income ratio go down and allows you to be able to afford more. That is one of the positives of a multi-unit.
So if you're having a hard time qualifying for a single family home, a 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 unit might be a way to go then.
Yep. Unfortunately, it doesn't really make your search any easier.
No.
But it does open up that opportunity to possibly live rent free, and possibly even, like I said, be able to just stay there for 5 years, save that money, and use that as an income later on for your next, and have that purchase your next home.
Absolutely.
There's always good options, and typically people that start out their first unit with a multi-unit go pretty far if they do it right.
Yeah, absolutely. Multifamilies are a great way to get started. Like you said, it kind of puts things over a larger income base, and puts you in a much better situation all the way around.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Again, unfortunately, the amount of inventory doesn't help, but but hey, let's look at something a little bit more detailed. Let's break this down. We're going to start from high to low, where we think it would be higher, but we could be wrong. We're going to start down in York County to see what each of these counties are worth. Let's go down.
Now, we would expect York County to be just a little bit higher than the state average, you would think.
Yep. So there we go. Median multifamily sale in York County, $492,450.
I was actually expecting it to be a bit higher than that.
Me too.
Yeah.
A lot higher, I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe Cumberland's the ticket we got to get to go higher.
Yeah, but again, similar situation. Not a lot of active inventory. Good amount of new ones coming on, but still nowhere near enough.
Now, like I said, these numbers should not be close by. This should be a lot higher than this, or this should be a lot higher than this, or whatever. But yeah, only 12 sales in the whole month multifamily in this York County.
Yeah, not a lot, and a lot of it. I mean, you got to figure that's a quarter of the inventory that's out there.
And then on top of it, you got to figure these 12 days on the market. That might seem long when you're comparing to residential, but keep in mind, multifamilies are harder to show too. So arranging timing is going to take a bit longer. So 12 days is actually fast for a multifamily.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go.
So yeah, it's interesting numbers.
Yeah, definitely. Do we want to hit Cumberland, or do we want to go to Saginaw first?
Oh no, let's hit Cumberland. Why not?
Here we go. Oh boy,
hit the big one.
800. Oh my word! Oh my word!
Oh jeez! What the heck? Wow! So let me guess. All these homes were sold in Cape Elizabeth, right?
I don't know. That's the crazy part.
Wow.
Unfortunately, no. A 3 to 4 unit in Portland's going for almost $1 million.
Right,
it's been like that for a little while. It's, to me, I look at it, I'm like, I don't know anybody that want to buy in there, because you'd need such high rents to make any money off that. It's just wow.
Yeah, and that's they're feeling that in their rental market. They have high rents.
Yep, for sure. So active inventory 49 units, only 27 new units. In 13 days on the market, so that's pretty even keel across the board so far.
Yep, pretty quick.
So let's jump over to Saginaw, just because I think that's going to be one of the higher ones. Just
you think so? Okay.
Nope. I guess Saginaw doesn't have enough multi-units to give enough data.
No. Interesting. So there's no closed sales.
There's no closed sales for the month of April. in
Gotcha.
Saginaw
Okay.
County for multifamilies. Only
Interesting.
3 new listings and 3 active. So if that tells you anything, they're going to be expensive in Saginaw County.
Wow. And that's interesting that there's only 3.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking for a multifamily unit in Saginaw County, forget it.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's jump over to Androscoggin. Androscoggin. All right, back to a little bit of affordability here. 415. We're coming back to where we should be.
Yeah. Again, similar situation. Active inventory, new listings.
Still
Days
only
on the market.
20, only 22.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, let's chase some affordability. Let's see what Oxford brings. We're gonna head west first. Oxford, there we go. There we go. Oxford does have some affordable areas, which is nice.
Yeah.
You got the Rumford area, and you definitely have South Paris, Norway. Don't get me wrong, you hit Bethel, that's a whole nother world, but
whole nother world, yeah. So there's hope out there if you're looking for an inexpensive home.
Yep. The downside to it is we're only talking 12 active units. We're still really low.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's a little bit slower out there too with the 27 days in the market.
Yeah. Yeah. So what that might lead me to believe is that this might be a distressed inventory.
Possibly, or just a inventory where people aren't really moving as much.
Yeah.
So it could be a couple toss-ups.
Yeah.
Let's go to, did we hit Kennebec yet?
Not yet.
All right, let's head north. We're going to hit Kennebec County. There we go. That's not bad. 350.
That's not bad at all. Actually, you'd expect around the Augusta area that it would go higher, being the state capital.
No, you thought it would be a lot higher. 34 units. That's not bad compared to what we've been seeing.
No.
Don't get me wrong. 6 days on the market, that kind of kills you, but
that's pretty quick.
That is extremely quick.
Yeah.
With a total of multis for 16 sales in the last month.
Yeah. So they've got a few more than some of the other areas have.
Franklin County. Oh, they actually have enough to 225. That's not bad. Another outlier that you could move to get away from the costs. Granted, only 4 active inventory and 2 limited inventory, but median days on the market, it definitely has less competition.
Yeah.
With an average sale of 225,000, that's not bad.
No, and you almost kind of wonder why they're sitting on the market, quite that long.
I don't know. It's a good question. Well, you got to figure Franklin County does get away from the economy a little bit because the mills aren't really the big thing anymore, and that's where mills came from. Plus, it's more Franklin County does have more of a tourist attraction for outdoors in the summer and in the winter.
Right.
But other than that, it doesn't really have a huge economy booming for it. Kind of like, so your bigger economies to the state of Maine, you're going to talk like Portland, Lewiston, Auburn, Augusta, and Bangor. That's pretty much your Brunswick. I won't forget Brunswick, but those are pretty much your big hubs for your economy across the state of Maine. Yep. If you go back 50 years, now we're talking Millinocket, we're talking Bucksport, we're talking Jay, Rumford, Skowhegan. Those were your massive. And again, it goes back to that thing we were talking about a couple weeks ago about the highest mill rates in the state. East Millinocket, it's one of the highest mill rates still in the state, although don't get me wrong, now their values aren't worth anything. But back when the mills were booming, money was flowing, more people were flowing in, so they needed more money for infrastructure. Things were great back then. Yep. But nowadays the mills are kind of out the door, and your higher pricing is going to be closer to your higher economies. At least that's how I see it.
Yeah, no, it makes good sense.
So,
absolutely. So interesting numbers, Zach.
We'll go up to Bangor, see what Bangor is. We don't do a whole lot in Bangor, but it's always interesting to see if that's another place to escape. Not bad. There we go. 52 units. That might be the place to go, Bob, right there.
Might be the place to go, yeah. Yeah, actually, I think I might be lining up some things in Bangor this coming week.
I'm just saying, 285,000, that's affordable. I don't know about you guys, but if we can keep it under 300 these days, it's beautiful.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, just a couple of years ago, we were actually talking 250, 275, but yeah, now we're talking, got to be up at 350 to really start getting into something decent.
Oh, definitely. It's just like the video I talked about the other day. I put a short video out on Facebook Live, and I was saying how when I bought my house in 2017, you could actually find a house for under 100, a move-in ready house under 150,000. If you hit that 200,000 mark, you were building brand new or custom, and you could get a lot for 200,000 to 300,000 brand new.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, I'm talking top of the sky, granite countertops, tiled, everything.
Yeah.
And now you can barely get that for $500,000. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, holy smokes.
Yeah, it's changed a lot as far as that goes, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not fun, but it's always out there, and that's what we at PinePoint really strive to do, is make sure that we can try to find every opportunity out there. Unfortunately, you come to us with $100,000 budget. That's a near impossible budget.
It's going to be pretty difficult.
And moldy. It's going to be moldy.
Yeah. There's certain trade-offs when you start going for lower price property, for sure.
Yeah.
But again, the key there, though, to all of it, Zach, is no matter what your budget is, give us a call, because just talking things over, we can get a better feel for what it is you're looking for, what your needs are, and what that budget is, and then run that search so we can actually find the proper one for you.
Oh, for sure. And that's the key too, is to start talking early, because there might be other options out there, because unfortunately, no offense, we can't make a sandwich out of a moldy piece of bread, but we
can't.
Well, I guess you could. It'd be penicillin-y, but I guess you could.
I mean, what the heck? You eat blue cheese, right?
Yeah. Well, let me rephrase it. Well, I can't make a sandwich out of a bread bag that's empty. Okay.
Right.
But like I said, there might be options, and you just never know. We have partners that will do mobile homes, brand new mobile homes, where we can package them together turnkey, so that you're closing on the land and the home at the same time. We have partners that do modular turnkey. We have, and we also have programs with us that we can try to put together a log home too.
We do log homes.
We do. I guess I gotta go chop some trees down. We need some more logs for homes.
Yeah, we need some more logs. Yeah.
No, they do that up north. We don't have to worry about that. You don't want me chopping no trees down. So.
No, we'll let them up at the Ward Cedar Log Home Factory chop those down for us.
For sure. Absolutely. But no, like I said, there's tons of options out there. Unfortunately, we can't make prices come down. They do what they want, and it's basically based on supply demand, for sure. As we can definitely see. One of the things to be careful for consumers is watching national news, because not every market across this country is the same.
That's true.
As they were talking the last few years in southern United States, the Southeast United States, you had markets where there were homes sitting on the market. There was plenty of inventory. But in the state of Maine, we're not going to hit that, because we never had enough houses for the amount of people we have coming in.
Yeah, we've always been lacking a little bit on the housing market, for sure.
No, we've been about 20 years lacking the whole time for everything, haven't we?
Yeah. So it's definitely time we go ahead and start getting some building going, for sure.
We just need more people working.
Yep.
What happened to those Patriot fans? Do your job.
Fans? What?
Yeah, all these Pat fans telling us to do your job, and they're not doing any jobs. Look for houses, Pats fans.
Oh, man. Spoken like a true Cowboy fan, I guess, right?
Don't tell them that. We're going to win every year, but we never do. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's all the fun. But it's true. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, all these Pats fans saying, do your job, but not enough people are doing their jobs. Build some more houses.
You can't do that to our listeners. You can't throw them under the bus like that.
No, I'm just teasing. It's just correlation. I thought it was funny the other day when I thought of it. I'm like, Jeez.
Yeah. Well, the thing is as Pat fans, we get our job done by not being fair weather fans.
Oh, jeez.
That's how it gets done.
If you believe hard enough and you want it hard enough, you're going to get it someday, whether it takes you 30 or 40 years, right?
That's right. And we'll be back again. We'll be back again.
Cowboys be there too.
Yeah, there you go. So anyways, so what's the rest of the day look like for you, Zach?
Well, I'm actually going to show a house in Turner. It's a fixer-upper. I've never been in it, but I've heard some stories that might be a little too high, but we're not going to name addresses because that wouldn't be fair to the listing.
Of course.
But one of the things I do is I like to go in these homes and kind of see if we can work it out, price it out, and see if we can't get contractors in there to see if we can't make something work. Especially with the market we're in, where we have had to learn to be very creative. And that's what we do.
Yeah. So, I mean, even if a particular home isn't quite up to the snuff that it needs to be, there's a lot of things that we can go ahead and help with to get that done, to make sure that it does pass the mustard, as you might say, and get the lending that you need on the property to make
definitely.
it.
And there are other options, because look at if we can do it. We have lenders that do 203Ks. 203K, the small version of the 203K is doubled. It's up to 70,000 now. The Streamline. But on top of it, Dan Murphy is able to do a purchase plus improvement on top of the mainstay housing, depending on what loan you have.
Right.
You're working with. And that's up to about 30,000. So that'll help too. Say something needs something to get through, we might be able to make it work. Like I said, here at PinePoint, we try to be as creative possible to make that your dream come true.
Yep, absolutely. So, if they have any questions this week, call us, right?
Talk is free, of course.
Absolutely. So again, if you do have any questions, by all means, feel free to give us a call. We're always here to help out. Hit us up, on the phone number on our website. Email us, whatever. We'd be more than happy to go ahead and reach out and do whatever we can to help you out, answer any questions you might have.
Because if you don't talk, we don't know, and we can't help you if you don't tell us what you need.
Yeah. And you know how they used to say in class, there's never a stupid question. I disagree with that sometimes,
well,
but by and large, there are no stupid questions, because somebody else is probably thinking the same thing.
The only stupid question is if you ask the same question a million times to a million different people expecting a different answer.
No, that's insanity. That's insanity. There's a difference.
I think that's a stupid question still. I don't care if it's sanity.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, there is no stupid question. If you don't know, that's what we're here for. That's what we're trained professionals. We do this day in, day out. Hey, you don't even have to work with us. Give us a call. Give us a shot. Give us a shout. You like what we're saying? Come work with us. If you don't, there's plenty of other of us out there.
Absolutely.
It all starts with talk is free.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess that's it for this week, Zach. What's that?
That was quick. Didn't we just start?
I know, it was a quick half hour.
Well, until next time.
That's about what I was ready to say. Till next time, guys. Expect an amazing day.